what we have here is a mashup. It's called Tri-State Safe. The track I used is Tri-State. This is from Above and Beyond, and then the vocals that I used is from my track with Velveteen called Safe. And when I first conceived this, I was looking for something for my performance at A State of Trance 550 in Den Bosch, and I wanted it to be an intro, so I wanted it to be kind of, you know, ambient, and I wanted something really like, whoa, kind of epic sounding, and who doesn't love Above and Beyond? So I want to talk a little bit about the track I picked, just in and of itself, and then I think I heard it on SoundCloud, and at the time I was looking for a first track, and when I heard it, I recognized immediately that kind of beautiful, lush, epic quality, and I was thinking of songs of mine that could work with that, and I started singing Safe over top of Tri-State, and I was like, oh my God, this works. So I went to work putting them together. So if we just take Tri-State, I'll let you hear a little of this just without any vocals. So how amazing are these strings and these chords? Just breathtaking. So that's the whole track right there. It's those 4 chords. So it's D, C, A, E. So the song's in the key of E minor. And D, so you have this, see, here's E. So you have these two, and then you have A minor, E minor. So already, first chord, you start building tension. And then you go there, which builds even more tension, and it just hangs there. And then you go here, which builds even more tension, and then release. So that whole sequence of those 4 chords is just build, 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 release. Build, 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 build. So, and then there's this piano melody. I sort of broke these 2 elements down so you can hear them individually. I'm going to mute that for a second. So here's this piano melody. The top note you can see here. And the way that works with the chords, first of all, the rhythm of that melody is really nice because you have this rhythmic anticipation going on where it sort of anticipates the beat, and just that in and of itself sort of kind of pulls you to that next chord. So that's a nice effect. And then the notes that are being played, the way it works with those chords. So this, that, you have this just pulls so, it's like you so want that to go there. So it's so the song in and of itself is just full of this tension release without anything added on top of it. Now, when you put the vocals on top of it, let's see what happens. I'm going to mute these out and then let you hear this.
I never felt fire like this before. Tearing down the walls on every side. And I never felt from higher than this before. The bridges burn, the morning turns to night, but I'm still alive. Can you
So that's a little taste of that. So, how's that for tension? It so wants to go somewhere else from that. Again, we're on the root E, but it really wants to go there. That sort of rising, falling, that G really feels like it's arrived home, and then it repeats. Now, when you go to that A, it sort of almost deepens the sense of tension. And then what happens here in this second section, you can even see just by the waveforms, the, how do I say, location of the phrases flips. So they occur at different places in the musical phrase against the tracks. So then we have these chords here, and this, while it's holding, rest, rest, rest. And what that does, another songwriting thing that I didn't mention earlier, is it creates contrast. So it creating contrast between the sections, especially when you're dealing with, you know, the same 4 chords over and over, is really important. But so you see what's going on, and why this works is that the track in and of itself is beautiful and very strong tension release, tension release, tension release, and the melody against those particular chords works really nicely. One thing that I did that I didn't do in this session, because when I first did this, I did it in Ableton. So there's no vocals in this. And this is something I would encourage you to do if you can. If you have access to the stems, use those too. Because what you can do is start bringing them in earlier, like before you drop the vocal, which I think I did here, but I have it mixed way down, like, yeah. So it's really low, but there's this, and anyone who knows the song will recognize that, which you can hear here. And one thing I'll mention too, if you're going to use stems, they weren't like this originally. So, you know, obviously it goes without saying you don't have to use anything as it is. You can always change things, stretch them out, condense them. And so what I did with this little part, it actually is supposed to go by twice as fast. So if I stretch this out, you'll shut that off. You'll hear this. But I didn't like that with this. See if I do it. Well, then that would be the high part again. Because I kind of felt like if I do that there, then when it goes here, it's just weak because you've already heard it. So I really liked how it sounded when you just sort of let that ring out, and then the pull of that. This really wants to go there. And the other thing is, if it was going by at the speed at which the originally does in the track, twice as fast, over and over however many bars this is, it would get really boring. So you definitely want to take these liberties and stretch these things out, and so that it works nicely with the chords and it doesn't get too repetitive. And I just delayed it out so you can't tell that I cut it off. But that's mixed into the track, and then I think this is another stem. Yeah, it's really subtle, that one, but I threw that in there too because why not? I mean, basically all this stuff at the end of the day, you know, you feel it. You know if this thing lights you up or not. And if you have the right tension release cadences, it'll just feel really good. If you don't, it creates what I call musical mush. It just leaves you kind of, I don't want to make dirty metaphors, but it leaves you very unsatisfied. Let's put it that way. It's just not good. So you know, a lot of this stuff comes down to using your ears, and, you know, gifted musicians, all this stuff is going to come very naturally and instinctually. Some people have to think about it a little more and analyze and figure out, oh, why does that feel so good? But, you know, it's like anything. The more you do it, the more it's going to come instinctually. And the more you understand why, when you hear something, it sounds good, then you'll know how to create that. So I hope that some of that was useful for you. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, I would absolutely love to work with you to develop your music, take it to the next level, help you find your voice as an artist, especially if you're female, because dance music needs more women. I'm very passionate about this cause. I had a lot of mentors myself when I was growing up, and it really made a difference to have someone that I respected kind of standing for me, expecting the best for me, believing in me, cheerleading for me, all that stuff. You know, it can be really hard out there, and this kind of thing, it makes a difference, not just in your skills, but in your mindset as well, and your confidence. So I'm looking forward to being that for you guys too. So if you have any comments or questions about anything that I said or mentoring, you can post them below, or you can hit me on my socials. That's Facebook, SoundCloud, or Instagram /Aruna Music, or Twitter /Aruna_official. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and looking forward to hearing from you soon. Take care now.